What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast. I'm your host, Randy McLeod, joined by Daniel Mosionier.
Howdy, partner.
Bradley Gertzen.
Hey, guys.
And Noah Garbutt.
Hello.
Hi. Guys, really fun episode today. We're going to be talking about our rural experiences. We grew up in the country, and ooh-wee, do I want to talk about it.
Does that not sound like, I know I'm so excited for this,
yeah.
but that just,
it sounds
like lame as
bottom of the barrel. Like, I grew up outside city limits.
I grew up outside, period.
Pretty
much. Oh boy, we get lore.
Yeah. Everybody has tuned out before the intro music has played.
Nobody gives a fuck how we grew up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about like our rural upbringing and pros and cons of rurality. I learned that's a word. It's going to be fun. So please stick around.
Please, holy shit. Please
stick around.
Chris, please.
For this episode of the Junk Monkeys podcast.
Please.
Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast, everybody. I am so glad to be back in the booth again, because guess what?
That makes one of us.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it, all right?
Well, too bad. You got headphones on.
Our first episode back, we actually recorded that. It was behind the scenes here, guys. We recorded that back in November.
Well,
so it's actually been like, we went through Christmas and New Year's, and we're back in the booth again for 2024 for the first time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. So, with that out of the way, I do want to talk about a couple things. Housekeeping. Thank you so much for the return, the reception to our return. It was fantastic. Cassie has already made the best ofs of that episode, like the timestamps.
Damn.
Yeah.
She's quick.
She's on it.
She's on that.
Yeah. Yep. So thank you, Cassie. We appreciate it. Our HR rep. Really appreciate that.
Why are you talking so fast?
I don't know.
Okay. You're just super excited.
I'm just really excited to be
you're
back in the
gassed
booth.
up.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go,
What
Dan.
the fuck are you talking
said
about?
gassed up.
I'm going to never say it again now, apparently.
People don't know.
I remember.
Nobody said gassed up.
Oh.
That's the thing. You said gassed up.
He is.
Non-ironically.
Yeah.
It's unironically. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
All right. That wasn't very gassed up of you.
That was pretty faded.
That wasn't very lit of you, dog.
And then other piece of housekeeping, just my own little personal side hustle.
I gotta
Operation Get Rant to San Fran, baby. Remember it well. Google Doc is in the description.
You got your forehead veins are fucking bulging.
Dan,
look at him.
Please don't ever mention my fucking
so
forehead
excited.
veins. Genuinely, never do that.
I'm so happy.
I know. I hate them so much. Ever since I was like in kindergarten, people will be pointing that out and being like, "Why the fuck are your forehead veins so big?" I'm like, "Leave me alone, man." Anyway.
That's okay, Rand. It's just you, man.
Yeah, I guess. That's why That's why I always had like hair over my forehead. That's why I never did it up.
You want to see why I have hair on my forehead?
I'd love to. No.
It just keeps going,
That's not
man.
bad.
It's
What
a
if it was
pretty
just-
large forehead.
What if it was just a different color or texture?
Yeah, he had like a giant scar.
I just have
He's Harry
another
Potter.
This is my
eyeball.
battle scar.
He actually just has tattoos up there.
Yeah. Oh my
He had a
goodness.
lobotomy.
What the fuck?
It's just like the Frankenstein looking. Like,
Just like, what the fuck, man?
why did you ever tell us this?
Oh my goodness.
Podcast gold.
Is it?
It's a great
I'd
story.
say so.
Yes.
I would save that for video if I had something.
Yeah, definitely. The big reveal.
Yeah, the big reveal.
That's our first
Guys.
video.
It would hit, man, for sure.
Let's talk about rural upbringing.
Don't do that.
Sorry, my bad. We brought up this topic because A, we're running out of ideas already, and B,
Are we?
eh,
We have so many ideas.
Yeah, we have some ideas.
A lot of them are repeats.
Pretty sure in like 6 weeks it's like summer camp stories. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this, and I think Dan and you and I kind of like volleyed this back and forth because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's a completely different lifestyle, and like so many different aspects of growing up in the country can really like shape who you are.
Yes.
And so I figured that'd be a really interesting topic to get into today. So to start it all off, because apparently I'm too excited, my veins are about to pop out of my goddamn forehead.
Listen, you're the one making a big deal about it.
You know what? Okay.
What?
Noah Garbutt.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, give me a brief overview. What was growing up for you like?
So I actually...
Were you a farmer?
No.
Okay.
No, I actually lived in Brandon
Oh.
till
that's right.
Till grade 4, which is when.
Actually.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the episode. It's about
sorry. I didn't actually grow up.
You no longer
rural.
qualify. This is heresy.
I don't have the rurality.
You don't have the rurality, bro.
The rurality.
This guy's got no rurality. Look at him.
Look at this limp dick rural guy.
I actually grew up in Brandon for the first couple of years, and then my family moved out to Forest, to the rural area. And then it's just kind of been
So how old were you when that was?
Whatever age I was when I went into grade 4.
Grade 8, maybe 8 years old. Sorry,
It's like 4.
4 years old for grade 4.
I mean, it lines up.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
right?
I
I think
have,
like what 10?
I think it's around 10.
Yeah,
I
I thought it
can't
was 8,
remember.
9.
I was a fucking child.
Yeah.
Apparently you were.
brain blast.
Sometimes I have to do like reverse math to like figure out what age it was.
Yeah.
Because I was 17 in grade 12. So if I go back from that,
How many years?
Randy and Noah are having a conversation, and Brad is having a brain blast over there in the corner by himself. Whoa!
I think.
So growing up rural was something that it wasn't something that I grew up with,
You didn't
but
start
it's
with
something
it.
that I grew into.
Yes.
But that also came with its own kind of like twist on it, where I also felt like, I'm around all these people that have actually grown up here. Like, I'm not actually rural. I'm from the big city.
you're a faker. You're
Yeah,
a phony.
exactly.
Phony.
Yeah.
So it was like that kind of like impostery syndrome.
Oh
thing.
damn. Okay.
I think that's.
No, it's fair. It's just
Yeah.
such a different perspective.
I know.
Fascinating.
And then it kind of just never fully went away. It was always in the back of my mind, being like, oh yeah, like all these people, they have those extra 10 years of growing up rural, as if there's that much experience that you actually gather from.
First 3 of those, 4 of those don't count.
I don't think you're conscious.
You're not even sentient for like 2 of them.
Yeah,
exactly. Like there's not that much that's actually separating, because I did still move out to the rural area at such a young age.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of always been out there. And then it wasn't until I was 22 that I actually moved back into Brandon here.
Yeah. You're like, because you took a while to like move away from home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you went to New Zealand, obviously, and that's like the farthest you can move away from home for a while. You know,
It's basically the opposite side of the planet.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because they say if you dig straight down, you get to Australia, isn't it? Because we always made jokes about.
Well, the common one is you get to China.
Right.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Right.
That's not true.
No.
At all, actually.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's really, actually, not that far.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up, because that was probably my most rural experience. Because like when I think rural, I think like farming and all that, all that stuff like that. I had to go all the way to New Zealand to actually work on a cow farm.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that stuff here in Canada the entire time that I was in the rural area.
To be fair to you, though, I don't think any of us did really, right?
No.
I did like some farming and like, animals when I was younger.
Yeah,
but-
same.
Yeah,
but
I didn't like
for the
grow
most
up.
part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like if you ask my dad, like he grew up on a farm, like he ran machinery and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like the rural background is more ingrained with him. And then my mom, she grew up in a small town, so kind of rural, but still in a town.
Yeah.
But the house that my parents moved out to when we actually came out to the rural area, it was far enough away from Brandon, and it was also still far enough away from Forest that it was pretty isolated.
Yeah.
And it definitely took a lot of getting used to, because I'm still used to, or like when we moved out, I was used to falling asleep to like cars driving down the road at all hours of the night and everything.
Totally.
And then it's just dead silence.
That's a very common point of contention when it comes to like moving from rural to city or city to rural is sound. You get so used to what's around you.
That was my big thing when I moved to Winnipeg. Like, from like the quiet of the country.
Yeah, there's
you know
always something going on.
Yeah, I was like, is that a train? What the fuck? Like, yeah.
What you got doing up at this hour?
What's going on?
Little big guy.
Yeah, that's hilarious you say that, because like out in the country, if there's a car going down the road at like 12 at night, you're like, who is that? What are they doing? Where are they going? Why are they out?
Who are you? You usually know if your
even if
parents
they're
are
like
coming
down
home,
the road,
or like if you're expecting somebody, the only reason somebody is on that road is usually to get to your place, right? Like, yeah. Before we move to Brad next, how far was your closest grocery store?
I love that question when I saw it.
Like when I was in town?
No, and you were living like.
Well, it kind of defeat the purpose of the conversation.
Well, it went from like being in town. The nearest grocery store was probably like 2 minutes.
Okay.
To then going to like a 15-minute drive.
Okay.
Probably Walmart would be the closest.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if we're talking literally, Safeway is faster than Walmart, I'd say.
Probably still 15 minutes, both in the Corral Center.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I'd rather just go to Safeway.
Yeah.
So.
Bradley Gertz.
Safeway represent.
Safeway.
Tell me about your rural upbringing.
Well.
No.
It all started when I was a kid.
Really?
Because you moved as well, right?
Yeah, I used to live in Brookdale, but I moved when I was like 4 years old.
I forgot that old Gertzen lore.
Yeah.
Right.
Some Gertzen lore.
No, yeah, I remember that.
Because I think this was
that's a brain blast for me.
Sibling stories.
Yeah, because Mike and Cassie were older, so they were in school already. But I was 4 when we moved.
Can you tell me where Brookdale is? I have no idea.
It's Yahweh.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere over there.
It's
hop, skip, and a jump.
You go down number 1, and then
like
you go for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes
down the shittiest road you've ever been down.
And yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Then you turn north, and you'll get there.
We'll have to have a conversation about
Turn
gravel
left
roads
at
at some point.
There's an
here,
episode, map episode,
Okay.
cartography episode.
GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr.
That would be so goddamn bad for a podcast.
It would be terrible.
We just don't do video.
Oh, damn, I was so close.
Yeah.
Anyways, your turn.
Look at that. I got perfect every time.
Every single time.
0 meters, every single one. You have to believe me. I'm sorry, Brad.
No, that's good. I like little tangents. Yeah, so it was Brookdale, and then we moved to like 15 minutes out of town, just on an acreage.
Yep.
And then, I don't know. I did a lot of driving trucks, driving trikes, motorcycles. Did that rural shit, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't really much.
And for you, 20 minutes for your grocery store?
Yeah, we're on the other side of Forest, so.
Right.
But 20 minutes. 20-minute drive. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I actually kind of really like it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll talk about like the pros and cons of rural
so
lifestyle.
I figured I'll leave some lore for then.
So many cons. That's
So
interesting.
many cons.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Dan,
Hello.
tell me about yours.
No.
All right. So when I was growing up.
So I'm, not to like completely dox myself, but I'm not that far from Brad. And by not that far, I mean like it really wouldn't be a bad walk.
No, it really
Yeah.
wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like a bicycle there on a nice day.
that would, it would be like 15 minutes, maybe
15-minute
20.
bicycle
Not
ride.
bad at all. Anyways, I've lived on a farm my whole life, and I've yet to move, and I have yet to have any intention to move.
Yeah.
When I was younger, we had livestock, and we had horses, and we had cows and pigs, and I just have distinct memories of one day the pigs got out of the pen because my mom accidentally let them out, and I have very vivid memories of running around the farm chasing pigs, but I'm like 5 or 6, so like the pig outweighs me by a fucking lot.
That's something. People have no idea how big pigs get.
They get heavy.
They get massive.
They
big
get
boys.
fucking
Same thing with
fat.
cows.
Fat boys.
Yeah, we used to have cows on our acreage. Like we'd hold them for a while,
Yeah.
like just for a buddy or whatever, and they'd always get out. So we had to like chase them around with hockey sticks. Because you like if they got close to you, you'd have to like smack them for them to stop. Otherwise, you're just gonna fucking get hit by a cow. And cows are pretty big.
Big boys.
Very big.
So we had to like spank them with the thing and get them going.
Slap shot.
Slap shot. Yeah. So
just
we were always like herding fucking cattle like at least 4 or 5 times a summer. We had to herd cattle back into the shitty fence we had.
Wow. I never
so
knew that
fun.
about. I never knew that. Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
It's so
not
fun.
at all. It was like fucking 6 a.m. We get woke up, graze the cow out. I don't care. Let them graze outside the fence, man. I
Yep.
don't care.
Yeah, woken up at 6 a.m. You look out your window. There's a cow staring right at you.
You're like, come on.
Yo, what's good, bestie?
I'm pretty sure that happened one day. We woke up for breakfast and there was just one out the front window. And we were like, fuck.
We woke up for breakfast and there was one in the house for breakfast.
He just sat
What
down.
y'all making?
Hey, what you got in those glasses there?
Hey, what the hell is that?
It's don't worry about it.
You're making burgers.
Mommy?
Oh no. They're pork.
Vegan, actually.
Don't worry about it.
Plant-based.
Plant-based burger.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So lots of different animals growing up. Did chickens. I remember chicken slaughter day. That was interesting. As a
That
kid,
was a new thing for me in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But
as a kid, you don't know. Like you have no concept of like what death is. So
yeah,
you learn pretty quick.
I remember chasing around headless chickens, and like that was fun as a kid. But in retrospect, it's like, whoa,
that's pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie,
crazy. So that was interesting. And then we have an acreage, and not a small one. So it's like the perfect size, I think, for just having the space you want to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then like pretty much everyone, your nearest neighbor is miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do whatever you want. And if you want to ride ATVs or shoot guns
or you just have the freedom.
You do basically whatever you want. Yeah. Without fear of pissing off other people due to noise.
Fireworks. I remember like that was a thing where like we can do it, but everybody in town is not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember fireworks were a thing. Yep.
Yeah.
You do that when we were a kid.
Yep.
Got a big garden. That's fun.
Yeah, that's always nice too, right? And just to curtail that, I grew up in the house that I was born in, and then went from there.
You were born in the house?
No, okay. I guess I was not. I was brought to the house after I was born. But
Brandy lore.
Like
Brandy lore.
Oh, I didn't even ask. How far is it? What it would be 15 minutes?
Just a little bit closer than Brad.
Yeah.
Probably like.
16.
In between 15 and 20-ish.
That's a good one.
Depending on weather.
That's not bad.
And I go to Safeway. Safeway represent.
Hell yeah. Yeah, for me, I obviously I don't live near forest. So
what, Brad?
What?
I'm just thinking we could make a gang sign for people who go to Safeway. Be like, yo, Safeway represent.
The Senate S.
It's just an S.
It's just like, is that the right way around for you,
the right
right?
way around, yeah.
Safeway. It's backwards for me. So.
Safeway represent.
Yo. And then you get shot. And
Get
like,
that.
You didn't know you were doing an actual gang sign, and someone was just, whap!
Damn it. That's what I would say if I got shot.
It was a fucking mascot for Walmart. Safeway.
Getting shot by a smiley face.
Holy shit. That's a good joke.
Rollbacks.
Roll back your life.
Holy shit.
Wow.
It's really funny.
That's a really good joke.
Yeah, so I grew up not in forest. I grew up like I'm so weird with time.
You were like away.
Yeah.
Out there.
I want to say I'm 15 minutes away from Rivers, but I know Jordan's gonna listen to this. And she's gonna be like, "It takes 5 minutes." What are you talking about?
Yo, well, I don't drive 110 down gravel roads, so
It's on her. We can delete comments.
Yeah, get out of here, Jordan.
Holy shit, censorship.
That's the reason why we never get comments on our videos. I just censor them all.
No, I'm logging into the account, deleting them all. Why is
even your own.
Yeah.
And then you gaslight me.
Yeah, about that guy on the sports episode.
That's right.
Randy, why is the comment going through? I'm deleting them. I'm just gaslighting the shit out of you.
I'm sorry, Dan. I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
What purpose would that achieve?
So I guess like 25 minutes away from Brandon. Which
you were a ways.
Yeah, I was a ways. Which kind of screwed up my parents when I decided I wanted a job and I didn't tell them, and I applied at Quiznos.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I
was hanging out at my aunt's place, and she was like, "You should apply for a job." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I did, and then I got I got the job interview. My parents are like, "What the? Now we gotta drive you in every day," or like every time you work. So that was annoying for them.
Oh yeah.
I apologize, parents.
Spent more on gas than he made at Quiznos.
Absolutely. Well, that was back when gas was cheap.
Oh, that's true. Good days.
I always forget you worked at Quiznos.
Yeah.
Because I like push it
That's
out of my mind.
That's part of my lore, man.
Great times.
Dude,
great times.
Wonderful times.
R.I.P. Quiznos.
Yeah. KFC now.
Had that one specifically the other day.
Oh, it's open?
Yeah,
it's good. It's been open.
Good stuff.
It's been open for a little bit.
I've been thinking about it.
I don't go on
It's
the
good.
North much.
I'm kind of mad about it.
Why?
I like.
You like Quiznos?
I like
Yeah.
Quiznos.
I like
Yeah.
Quiznos.
I hadn't been there for a while, but
They're still decently cheap.
Pita Pit is behind Subway now.
I know.
I know it's not the same thing. But
I
It's okay.
went to Subway today.
Yeah.
I honestly sometimes rather Subway than pita.
yeah.
I don't know why. Sometimes like, ooh, this tastes too fresh.
What?
It's too
What?
good. You know?
So the closest grocery store for me.
now I want to unwrap this Pita comment.
No. We've already dicked around so much.
Yeah, but that's out of the
I
episode.
gotta get on the
That's okay.
conversation. Back on track with Randy McLeod.
Back on track.
Friend.
So yeah, we also had animals growing up. For the first, I want to say like 5 years for me.
You chicken people?
Yeah, we had chickens, we had cows, we had a bull. At one point we had a goose, but my dog ate it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Them's good eats.
Yeah.
For a dog, I guess,
dog.
perhaps.
We were a little mad at the dog. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro was probably
Dog didn't give a shit. Dog was like, nice.
That's good eats.
You guys are leaving this food out for me.
Oh, thank you.
For free?
Yeah, we had
For me?
chickens, we had pigs, we had a bunch of stuff. But then eventually it was just like Dad was running the shop with Mom, and then we were just like, there's no time for
This is
all these
unreasonable.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a cost benefit analysis, and it's just like, there's no benefit.
And the cost benefit analysis was his dad looking at the field and going,
I'm tired.
nah, fuck this.
Yeah, honestly, pretty much. So that was cool.
That was the SWOT analysis.
So yeah, I wasn't Farmer Rand when I was a kid. Like, I wasn't out there with my straw hat being like, gotta make sure the cattle get to pasture.
Just dreaming to be paddock grand.
Don't you mean,
Pasture Rand.
I was going to say, don't you mean pastor?
Pasture Rand, yeah.
Pastor Rand?
No.
No,
Pasture.
the cow's out in the pasture. I've listened,
just preaching out there.
I listened to that episode a number of times, and every time I hear that, I just get angry.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
I'm like,
Really stupid.
come on, man.
I don't know. I'm uneducated.
The music stops.
It's really
Did you know pasture wasn't pasture? Yeah.
it's good stuff.
I say a lot of dumb things. Why is that the one that sticks out to you? For
Because as nicely as possible, because it's Randy.
Randy's
Randy's
too
a-
intelligent to be thinking
I'm
that.
not even
Well,
that
it's-
intelligent.
al-
I fucked
also-
up pasture and pasture.
English major.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That's the annoying thing about English major.
Is that when you make a simple mistake like that, people
Everybody
are like,
just
what's
jumps
wrong
on
with
it.
you?
I'm like, I didn't take a course
for this?
Like,
That degree paid off.
what are you gonna do with that, huh? What are you gonna do after
What are you gonna do with that? Fuck up pasture and pasture? I don't mean any of this,
I know,
of
I know.
course.
On TV, like national TV, it's just like a new pasture was announced for this church. Okay, let's get back to talk about. Speaking of pastures,
Speaking of pastors.
I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of rurality.
Yes.
I want to talk about like we kind of jumped on a couple, and I want to start with what I think is a pro, the isolation.
Yep.
I think that growing up rural was a fantastic opportunity, in retrospect, to learn how to live with quiet, if that makes sense. Like, and to find your own sort of fun, rather than like relying on so many other things for that. You know, like going to the well of like, well, I'm gonna go over to my friend's place down the street or whatever.
I'm
like,
gonna go to the park.
I'm gonna go to the park. Yeah.
Go play out in the street.
Yeah. I think like the combination of isolation and freedom like bolsters the rural like upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Perhaps,
I know what
perhaps,
you're getting at.
perhaps maybe in some way bolsters creativity.
Yeah.
Because you're forced to be more creative in some ways.
I would say so.
I mean, when I was a child, I know I had some crazy games. I was just
Oh, yeah.
imagining up.
You'd have to come up with so many things,
It was
man.
nuts.
Yeah.
Sickest tree forts ever.
Oh, yeah?
Period.
You
Especially,
just climb trees.
Yeah.
Because like, what am I doing today? You know?
I'm climbing another
I
tree.
guess I'm climbing this tree.
That one
Look
looks
at that
good.
tree, man. It's a good tree.
Didn't climb that one yesterday.
Oh shit! You seen that branch, bro? I can grab that.
Snaps,
This
falls.
sounds like a really shitty bit, and it's like rural kids newscast.
Yeah,
It's like a new tree has grown this season. Make sure to climb it before it gets too busy. And that's like a YouTube channel.
I can watch that.
I would watch it every day.
A dog has eaten a goose today.
The cows got out again.
Yeah.
If you don't live within 5 kilometers of 110 West, don't even bother. You're not going to make it.
Oh man, do you remember like washouts?
Yep.
Like gravel roads where it's just like,
Oh.
oh, you just can't go this way anymore.
Still a regular occurrence.
No, I know, but like
happens on my road every year.
as
every-
somebody who lives not in the country anymore, that doesn't affect me anymore.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just remember being like, oh, I got to get to what?
Oh, it was an
Well,
earthquake
I guess
here,
I can't go this way.
I remember a couple of years ago when we had like the really like heavy snowfall combined with heavy rain and everything.
Yeah.
And like where I was, we were basically an island. We were a
Yeah.
sovereign nation for a small period of time. There was no roads coming in or out. We were
Oh, I
just
remember that.
isolated.
I remember
for like
like
an entire week and a half.
some people that went to rivers. They lived near Alexander, I think,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like or like the Dearborn colony, and they had to like kayak to the bus stop to get to
That's
school.
fucking sick.
That was the only way to
That's
get there.
rad.
so dope.
It's
you
wild.
wake
Imagine
up, hey
pulling up
guys,
to
you ready to
school in a,
kayak?
pulling up to school in a kayak,
Could you imagine?
and then immediately getting the shit beaten out of you by the police.
Look at you, kayaker. Dan,
bullies will find anything to beat you up.
Yeah,
over.
they
look
usually,
at you, kayaker.
Yeah, they usually beat me up. They made fun of me because my forehead. I brought it.
3 to 1. Apologize to yourself, not me.
So yeah, that's my pro. Do you guys have any like, man, did I take this for granted? Well, obviously you two still live out there.
Oh, I'm still living out there.
Yeah. But like, I guess Noah, was there anything that you took for granted, and now you're looking back and like, man, I miss this about living in the rural setting.
Took for granted.
I do miss the amount of openness there is.
Yeah.
Because like we had an acreage as well, and it was surrounded by farmland, so like you could see like beautiful
see the horizons.
See the horizons and everything.
You can see the stars, man.
Oh, the stars!
I miss seeing
absolutely
the stars.
Amazing. I do miss that from time to time. However, going on your like isolation.
Yep.
I would say that's a pro and a con, because being so isolated also comes with in my opinion, quite a few drawbacks. Like you mentioned, where's your nearest grocery store? Like it's then so much travel to go to the grocery store. You're spending so much on gas. It's taking more time out of your day. You also don't have a whole lot of access to a lot of the like just common amenities that are in cities and stuff.
Yeah.
Like no takeout food.
Nope.
No. Nothing.
That's a treat.
That is a treat.
Yeah. When like parents brought home a pizza, it's like, oh shit.
It's an occasion.
We're not doing pork chops and potatoes and beans tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Having the ease of access
that
to
is so fucking real. What he just said? Holy
real,
shit.
Yeah, dog. Meat, potato, veggie.
I don't want to cut you off, but like...
No, he's right.
That's the line of the episode.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're fucking dry.
Oh, you're chewing them for hours.
They're quick fries. They just don't quick fry them. They just fry them for ages.
You know, the ones on the edge are super crunchy. The ones in the middle are super mushy.
It's just...
Can't wait for my mom to listen to this and be like, they weren't that bad.
I got you. Like,
to,
yes, they were.
I used to shove them under the table.
You've talked about this, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you used to hide them there and your mom found it all.
Yeah.
And then was like, look at all this rotten food.
What is that smell?
Anyway, I already
8
brought it
pork chops.
I'm sorry, no. We keep
you know how much money this is?
And now you want me to take you to Quiznos. I'm sorry.
I wasn't doing it by the time I was working at Quiznos.
This guy's like 17.
That's another thing. Getting a job out in the rural area, so much harder.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I feel like people that live in the city, they get jobs like as soon as they turn, I don't know, like what, 14?
Walk there.
I
6 if you're Randy, apparently.
No, I was working
pork chops under the table at Quiznos.
No, I was working at Quiznos when I was 14.
Yeah. But
God,
like it requires so much resources to do that because you don't have a driver's license. You can't go anywhere by yourself, especially when you live that far. Like if you were a little bit closer to the city, then like sure you could probably bike there or quad there or whatever. But no, it's taken time out of your parents' day. Again, more like gas is such a big thing for rural areas.
Oh yeah, like Jose's like gas tank lasts 2 weeks. Every payday she fills up once. Yeah, I'm like,
could you imagine?
Could you imagine? I got to drive into school every day, and that's like every week I'm filling up like once, maybe twice.
Yeah, the last couple of years of high school, I was driving to school and then also to work, and I was filling up like every week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
every week, and it would be like $100. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So getting a job, I would say, would be much harder because if it is in the city, it's got to be somewhere close to home. That's why we mostly got jobs on the North Hill.
Yep.
Because that was
the
closest area.
I wasn't about to work at Thunderbird Bowl.
Well, I worked at
exactly.
like co-op on Richmond. And I was just like, man, this sucks. I just got to go across the city.
You're fucking dumb if you work there and you live out in the country.
Yeah. Out our way, that would suck, man.
That would suck. That's across town.
It's like a 35-minute drive.
Yeah, basically.
To work.
Yeah.
Another thing,
and then it's Thunderbird. So
yeah.
Another thing that I really like, or another con to rural living is you don't have that ability to just get up and go and do something.
Yeah.
Outside of
so much planning.
Yeah. It requires like, okay, what time works for everybody? You have to meet at a certain location. Like we would always meet on like McDonald's or whatever to then go
to ferry people
to
over.
ferry everyone
totally.
to whatever we were doing. Whereas like living in town, it's just like, hey, you want to like.
I could text you and be like, "Hey, you want to come watch Scott Pilgrim or something?" And you're like, "Hell yeah, I'll be right
and it's
over."
Like and it's like a 5-minute drive in town.
Yeah.
Whereas like
you could literally walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. At night, in the winter, you madman.
That sounds like something Noah would do.
Yeah.
You're just that shorts. You're that shorts and winter type guy. You know.
Brad, you were probably too drunk, but I walked from Randy's house to my house at like.
Oh, was that the day I fell asleep on your floor?
Yeah.
Oh.
At like 4 o'clock in the morning.
You did do that.
Nice. It was a good ass sleep.
Yeah. Give me a pros and con.
I'll just jump off of your isolation topic and lean into it because I absolutely adore the isolation and I absolutely adore the quiet.
Yeah.
I know it's obviously the most common theme is that like when you talk about rural versus city is that everyone always says, oh, well, the noise. And while that is a well-trodden topic, I adore the silence.
Yeah.
God, I can't formulate my thought.
It's hard to describe it for someone who hasn't experienced it.
I've stayed over at Darian's a couple times. Yep. He's been like, come over and we'll hang out and you can sleep over. I'm like, okay. And he's got a nice couch. And when I do, even just little noises in the city, because he lives in a pretty quiet area, it's like eyes pop open and you hear a car horn and you're like, what is that?
You're on edge.
Well, because if you're in the country, you are a car horn like 15 feet from your house. You're like, someone's in the yard.
Yeah.
And it's like triggers your like fight or flight response. Like, I gotta get the gun.
Yep.
Gotta defend the homestead.
You're just up in your front top window with like, you're just like pointed out in your little sniper blind.
That would work perfectly with my window.
Yeah. Nothing more terrifying than you with all of your experience with guns. And I just show up to your place to like pick you up or something.
And you then don't text me?
Yeah.
Canadian sniper.
I see the glint up in the window. I'm like oh shit, get down.
Battlefield 1? But I have a counterpoint to the sound discussion in that there are some sounds that you'll hear out in the country that are just so soothing. And specifically for me, where we live, and it's probably different for you because you're a lot closer.
Right.
But how loud is it when a train goes by for you, Brad? So loud. Okay. So where I live, because he lives like basically.
Oh, like
you're like basically touching the train.
Our property is touching the railroad track.
Yeah.
We have an old railroad track on our property.
Correct.
So it's like right there.
Yeah.
Every day at 8 p.m.
So we live a few kilometers south of it. Mm-hmm. And the train, when it goes by, I can just to the north, just the faintest train horn. Yeah. Enough to hear.
I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
11:30 at night, lying in your bed, pitch black room, and then just the faintest train horn off in the distance. It's like, it like soothes your soul because you're like, yes, all is right in the world. Yes. I don't know how to explain it.
The trains are on time.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know how to explain it, but it.
No, I feel that.
It changes you.
Yeah, no. I genuinely same situation as you, where I was like a few kilometers away from like south of it, of a pretty active railroad track, and like, yeah, when I moved, I
miss it.
Yeah, genuinely. It's the
Brad's like, I wouldn't miss it.
No, I would probably.
Yeah. But like the distance, like, it's almost like the perfect distance.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, kind of on that soothing topic. One thing that I've noticed that I miss extremely since moving into town, thunderstorms.
Yeah.
I don't get the same experience. I don't get the same experience.
With like snowstorms.
Why?
Man. I don't get to, because at my parents' house we had a little sunroom that basically overlooked an entire field. So if there was a thunderstorm, like off in the distance, not even hitting us, I would get to see the lightning strikes and I would hear the faint thunder and everything. Yeah. And it was like the most picturesque just feeling or like scene.
Now you look out your window and you see like another person's house. And
I look out my window and I get to see a fucking street.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't get to see lightning strikes right in front. If there is, it's concerning.
Yeah, I throw that in the pro column in terms of like,
holy shit, the lightning rod is not working.
That's in the pro con for sure. Is that like just the openness? I just like the idea of like
the scene.
Yeah, and also like
everything.
Usually neighbors are pretty cool in terms of like, if I accidentally walk onto your property, you're not going to shoot me.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one
so
cares
like,
that much.
I don't think you've seen it, Brad, but like one time we went tubing down at my place.
Yep.
And we went down to what our family has termed as the valley, and like that's private property, kind of. Like there's a bunch of fields where people keep their cows. So
you gotta just
if
sneak in the
some
pasture.
random showed up and just started driving down there, they'd be like, what are you doing here? But it's because it's us. It's just like, oh yeah, just hang out.
Yeah,
so we would go walk down there all the time. We'd have picnics down there. We'd like go dirt biking down there. It was a joyful time, you know? I don't know. That's the pro.
I imagine us go because I remember river tubing.
Yeah.
I imagine us going down the river and like the farmer is like on the side and he's like, "Get out of the river!" And we're like, "You'll never take us alive!" As we're just slowly
Just
going.
super slowly.
Yeah.
And then he takes out his gun and starts shooting it.
And then we start paddling really fast.
Yeah.
With the paddles we have, I guess. I
guess
don't know.
we brought some. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's exact scenario. Yeah.
Okay, but that is definitely another con. The community. The community is much more tight knit in rural areas and expands much farther.
Is that a con?
No, that's a pro.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You said con.
Oh, did I? Sorry,
Yeah. So
sorry.
yeah,
No,
wow.
we
We
were
both
both
like,
communities,
hate your
Jesus.
neighbors.
no,
All
sorry.
three of us. Yeah.
They suck.
No, that is
Fuck the
definitely
rink.
a pro. Like if
The rink is probably a pro.
oh, the rink 100% a
Sorry.
pro. 100% a pro.
100%.
Yeah, if something shitty happens, like say the power goes out at your place,
Yeah.
you definitely have that ability to just go to whoever the nearest neighbor is and just be like, hey, like this is
Is your
something-
power on?
Yeah, is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
power on? Like that, if the power went out, you were immediately calling around being like, do you guys also run out of power?
Yeah.
Run out of.
Totally.
I used up my last megawatt like 30 seconds ago, man.
You got some more?
I'm in the middle of cooking my nuggets,
Can
man.
you spare me?
You got the cup. Can you spare a few kilowatts?
Hydro coming off again. Yeah, that definitely like that sense of community is huge because like I've thought about this a lot in terms of like when you talk to others at school where it's like, well, obviously like I went to Rivers till like grade 10, so like a lot of those people grew up in the town, right? Elton's a little different in that it's a bit
More from all around.
Yeah. There's no like centralized except for forest, but that's not quite a town.
It's like two people.
Yeah. So
Represent.
when I said neighbors, like in school, usually people be like, "Oh yeah, the people next to you." I'm like, "Well, no,
Not,
it's
couple
like a
miles down the
general
road.
area that's undefined."
Yeah.
like,
But-
it could be anybody within the next
Oh, yeah.
5 miles.
But neighbors in that sense
Yeah.
have a different, and we all understand having lived it,
Yeah.
have a different meaning than neighbors from like a town perspective.
Totally.
Oh yeah, I
It's
got
a different
I
vibe.
got, I got neighbors in town there. I have not talked to any of them.
Yep, I have neighbors in my building. Guess what? I haven't talked to them.
No, I
Probably never will.
refuse to.
You
Yeah.
probably never will.
Probably.
You might run into him throwing out garbage one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you won't talk to him.
I wonder if part of that has to do with just, give me a second to say what I'm going to say.
Of course.
But I wonder if it has to do with proximity in the sense that when you live out in the country and we're talking like, oh, your power's off, you go see your neighbors. It's like, but how frequently were you going to your neighbors for things other than like when you needed to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
So in the same sense of I don't talk to my neighbors when I live in an apartment complex. If I was in an apartment complex and my power went out, I'd go knock on my neighbor's door and be like, "Is yours off?" "Oh yeah, whole building," which is the same as going to your neighbors out in the country and being like, "Is your power off?" I have never once gone to a neighbor in the country and been like, "What's up, man? Let's have lunch." And in the same way that I would never go to I'd probably never go to, especially me, never go to a neighbor in an apartment complex.
It's more based around shared experience.
Yeah, we're all out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're also sharing the same experience in an apartment complex.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Fuck, I had a point earlier, and now it's gone.
That's okay, Brad. I'm gonna pull you off the bench here, bro.
Oh.
Give me a pro and con of the country.
I've been thinking about this
Please.
for the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Something I can do right now that I think would be annoying that I couldn't is just being naked in my house. No, it's not. It's don't be putting your head down.
Why can't you be naked in your apartment?
Imagine your blinds are closed because you don't want it like people are around they could see you.
Yeah.
I want to look out at the great world in my most natural sense.
Brad, you live with 2 other people.
They're not home all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, they go to work sometimes.
Just imagine you just walk upstairs.
My parents are just up there. Brad,
put
what are you
some
doing?
clothes on.
What are you doing, man?
Brad, your house has a very big window,
Humongous.
Huge.
It's awesome.
overlooking a
road.
I would say your
And
road
a
is
field.
like the least traveled.
No, but it's not the most. Like I would be willing to bet for,
Okay.
That I could stand in front
You're
of it.
willing
Yeah.
to run
Yeah.
that risk.
I
100%.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That road. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm just sitting there, just staring out, and just like, I guess will be like the sense of, I guess doing anything you want, right? Like freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's
I
just
could-
one
I
way
could-
of interpreting the
I
freedom
could,
for sure.
yeah, I could theoretically go into my backyard fully naked and just be hanging.
You
out.
have a neighbor right next to you.
Yeah.
And when I
They got a
say
wall.
neighbor, I mean like
They
right
got a
next.
wall now.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're
Do
good.
they have a wall now?
A little one, yeah.
Okay.
Little.
It's about yay tall.
They have a multi-story building.
You're a tall guy, Brad.
Yeah, you're,
Like-
right, you're right. I could go on one side of my house naked.
Okay.
Previously, I would be able to, but they moved in, unfortunately.
Damn.
They're too close. I don't like it. But I don't know. Also, like, since we have like all the acreage, just exploring land, like literally, because like I said, the old railway bed and everything, you can just walk down.
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
You get so much more interaction with nature.
Yeah, 100%. And there's like how the railway bed works is like you walk along that way, and then there's 2 like I guess sloughs that surround it at one point, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome because there's so much nature out there.
I love how every kid that grew up rural has a different name for a body of water. Because like
Slough.
we had
pond.
dugouts. That was the name of our
Pond?
Bog.
pond.
Oh yeah, we're all
No.
different. Hell yeah.
No, we didn't call it a bog. We called it just a slough.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think maybe it's
Dropping your mic.
what's the word? When it's only within a certain
A
geographical
local
area.
dialect.
Ah, yeah. Dan would be a part of that local
I
dialect.
was gonna say I don't think it has anything to do with
Technically,
it.
yeah.
We're all really not that far away from each
No.
other.
No.
Like a walk to your place, it wouldn't be awful.
We're talking as if we're different countries. Like,
I have
5
biked
minutes
to
on the
forest before.
I've also biked to forest.
I've also biked to rivers, and that's a long bike ride from my
I
place.
biked during a snowstorm to Elton because I was scared I was gonna miss class one time.
Damn.
There was a test, and I was like, I missed the bus, and I was like, shit.
Oh man,
And
nothing
then-
more terrifying than missing the bus.
No, it was
Oh,
awful.
pro to living rural, snow days.
On God.
Huge, massive.
I know you have bus on your list.
Oh,
and
I do
that's
have
good.
bus on my
Yes,
list.
you do.
How long was your bus ride, Rand?
Were you had a long bus ride,
Yeah, let's
you?
let's get into the bus.
dude? The bus was a PvP enabled war zone.
It's
Like
a constant bar fight.
You
are not
you
Oh
kicked
my
the shit out of
God.
some people on the bus. And
fight
by
people on
some
the bus,
people, I
Dan?
mean one guy.
You beat up people down?
Oh,
I
no,
didn't beat anybody.
No,
up,
but like there was times where I'm like, oh, are they okay?
well, I remember one specific. Was it Ethan or?
There was Ethan, and then there was.
I distinctly remember like actually kicking someone out of a seat. and
Yeah,
being
that was
like-
Ethan.
I was like, and I kicked them. I didn't kick them. I pushed them with my
pushed
foot.
them with his foot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because a kick is a lot different than pushing.
Yes,
with
it
your foot.
is. A snap kick is much different than a shove.
I was
with
like,
your
get
foot.
out of here, man.
The bus is a crazy place.
The bus is PvP enabled zone.
Yeah,
It's a free for
Some
all.
gross and
It's-
weird shit happens on the bus, man.
absolutely, absolutely.
Dude, my high school experience got dramatically better when you got onto my bus.
Oh,
line.
stop.
No, I'm
That's
not.
very
I'm not
kind.
kidding. Because I would look for it. I'd be like, I gotta hang out with Rand for like 10, 15
Yeah, it's just
minutes.
a one-on-one.
Play music.
Yeah, we just hang out.
Stack mayonnaise on burgers.
We did do that. Papa's Burger.
On Papa's Burger, yeah.
I knew
Oh,
exactly
dude.
what you were talking
Oh.
about as
Like
soon as you said that.
600 pickles in a row.
Every once in a while, Dan will just send me the screenshot of like this monstrosity of a burger that
and
we
it's,
made.
it's just white sauce, and it's like, what is this
And
burger?
it just goes up for like the entire screen.
It's like the top bun is like half cut off on the
Yeah.
top of the screen.
It's insane.
Jesus.
It's so funny.
So-
But yeah, I definitely I really cherish like the bus and genuinely, and I know like a lot of people would probably find that so fucking boring, and like the public transit system in the city is probably really fucking boring.
But you're not hanging out with friends on a public transit network like that.
No. Yeah.
I got on the bus in the morning in high school, and I was go to the back of the bus. I'm like, "What's up, Brand?" And he'd
Yeah.
be like,
Sometimes I would be asleep. Yep. Yep. Because
Oh.
I'd be on the bus for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one
Jeez.
time our bus driver, we had this one really big bump on the road.
Yeah.
And we got him to speed up for it when we were at the back of the bus, man. It was so fun.
And then you go, whoa!
My head hit the roof.
Yeah.
My head literally hit the roof.
Absolutely. That was genuinely like there was a bridge that we
awesome.
had to go over, like to get over a railroad track, and we knew that it was the biggest bump up on the trip.
Yeah.
So what we would do was we would ask the bus driver, because the way it works is like, for those
Just like
that
30
haven't
kids
been on
hyping
a,
up the driver.
yeah, pretty much. But like
He's just up there like, yeah!
Just gassing up the driver.
Are you talking about bus hierarchy?
yeah,
right now?
the bus hierarchy.
Yeah.
Oh,
where
the
it was
bus
like
hierarchy.
the youngest
It was
students sit at
never
the
said,
front,
but everyone knew.
and then
Yeah.
the oldest students sit
Yep.
at the back.
Yeah.
And then somebody would come along trying to upset the hierarchy, and then
it
you would
would-
get the bus driver
uh-uh.
involved, and you'd be like, "No,
Time
come
to
on,
leave.
Like, get out of there.
Don't make me tap the sign. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think anyone on our bus even tried.
no.
Oh,
on
we
our
had
bus.
a couple people try on ours, and it immediately got shut
It
down.
was
yeah.
usually like you have to ask for like passage. You know, like you're allowed in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
now.
if you were like a
Yeah.
buddy with somebody older,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
But then, like, anytime you looked at him, it was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Just staring
The
at you.
side eyes.
Yeah.
The side eyes.
Oh my
were
god! And like the
crazy.
bartering system on the bus, where it's like, yo, you got a wagon wheel?
Oh,
Shit.
yeah, that's where
Shit.
the trades went down.
Yeah, dog.
I learned how to be a salesman.
Back
on that
bus, black market.
Honestly, though,
There was.
it was a good time.
The oldest people on the bus always got the seat beside the heater.
Yeah, but sometimes it
hell
was way
yeah.
too hot, and you're just like, hey, John, can you turn down the heater, please? Like, I'm dying
Ron.
over here. Yeah, Ron for us.
Shout out to Ron, dude.
We had
John
Don.
was my previous one, and then Doug was my previous.
We got Don.
we had
Don.
John, and Ron.
John and Ron.
Hey, man, it's just a bus
yours?
driver names.
Tom.
Terry?
It's pretty close.
These are just the most
Her,
basic names ever.
Ron, Don, John, and
Terry.
Terry.
She was the librarian at the.
Force.
Yeah.
Oh, librarian.
Yeah. She was the bus driver, and then
She's-
she was the librarian, and then
Cool.
and then at the end of the day, she would just hop on the bus and drive us all home.
Anyway.
I forget her name, but I remember her being really nice.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
No, genuinely, I really enjoyed like sitting on the bus with you as well, because it was very much like hey, we just went through a day of school. Let's decompress
Let's
before we
just
go home.
dig around, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
we'd listen to the same two songs over and over
yes,
again.
we would on my
Trop-
JBL speaker.
Tropical
which-
House
Hell
remix
yeah.
of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Won't Back Down Bohem remix.
Yep.
I still listen to
Only
regularly.
remixes.
bangers.
Specifically those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were just listening
We
to
only
the
had
Fresh
15
Prince of
minutes.
Bel-Air theme song.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. But then like sometimes you would go on somebody else's bus to be like,
You'd have to
like
get permission
dude.
slips.
yeah,
Those were
and it'd be like,
crazy.
Remember permission slips? Oh my God.
You have
yeah,
to clear with the bus driver that you're allowed on.
Look, it's
like,
like
I got the paperwork. I got the proper paperwork.
Here's my passport, please.
Yeah.
Sometimes you walk into a different bus and you're like, what is going on?
yeah. If you
here?
accidentally got on
It's
the
a
wrong
different-
bus,
It's
and
a
you're like,
different
wait a
world.
minute. Yeah,
it's a
like-
whole different community
It's
in
a
every
whole
bus.
different community, man. Like,
It's a whole different community,
that's
man.
what I'm saying.
Did you guys ever like subconsciously or like in the back of your mind think that bus looks cooler than my bus?
Yes.
There were some cooler
Yeah.
buses.
Yeah.
One time I seen a girl pick up her boyfriend and carry him onto the bus at
What?
Elton. I was like, that's
What?
probably a sick bus.
Damn.
That probably
Guys-
wasn't a sick bus, but it was weird because it was over her shoulder. So
You guys
I don't know how I
remember
felt
Brad
about it.
wishing that was him.
I was like, carry me onto the bus.
getting
please.
carried? You guys remember the drills of like,
Yep.
okay, you
The
gotta cross
fire
your
escape.
arms, yeah,
Yep.
and like
Jump off the
you
back.
got,
Oh,
you got
I forgot
older,
about that.
and it was like, okay, you're gonna be the one to help people down. You were like, I have been chosen for a higher purpose.
God has chosen me.
I have to stay ready just in case.
You're like
I am
training
the
in the
protector
gym.
that will guide.
And it was in your head. It was a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was.
I am
I
the
mean-
shepherd to guide these sheep.
Hey,
And then-
if a electricity wire somehow got over the bus.
Yeah.
I know what to do,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You
Oh,
cross
penguin
over.
shuffle.
Totally.
Yeah, and you gotta clear the whole thing. Land with both your feet on the ground,
At
and then
the
don't.
same time.
Yeah, don't.
And you
Otherwise,
shuffle.
you fucking blow up.
It's like dead on the spot.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
you turned to
Imagine that
Thanos
actually
ash.
ever
Yeah.
happened. Like I don't know. I don't know if we would have successfully
anyone in
done
forest.
We
No.
all would have died.
it. Probably.
Every single person.
Then we had to figure out what we do if we got stuck on a train track.
Oh, we didn't ever have to figure that one
We
out.
talked about
We've
it.
we did that one a couple times.
You could just walk towards the train.
Last thing I
That
want
was
to say
the only thing.
on the bus topic real quick, but like there was also like that moment where you became the ultimate authority at the back of the bus because like if the kids wouldn't shut up at the front and then the bus driver was clearly waiting for them to shut up because they were being too rowdy.
That was me on our bus.
Yeah, you had to do that, and I had to do it at one point where you just like
Ron would because you'd be looking up at the bus driver and he would look in his mirror, that big long
yeah,
mirror
the big giant mirror,
and you would lock eyes and you'd be like,
all right,
don't worry, I got it covered.
And then
they're not getting the message. You're like, hey,
hey, the really loud hand. Everyone would just quiet.
I never had.
You never had to do that?
No,
oh man,
I was never.
Let me tell you, that made me who I am.
Our bus driver was just usually.
That's where you got the confidence.
Yeah.
And then the little gifts they give you, like
yeah, Christmas time.
Oh, they give you like candy canes.
I used to get
little
macaroons.
Bundle. Yeah, dude.
And then
what?
Yeah.
That's
No, not macaroons. Rosebuds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really good.
They just give you something.
Impressive.
Yeah.
And then
Awesome.
at the end of the year and everything, they'd be like, "Okay, we'll see you next year, I
Yeah.
guess." And then like
One day you just never got back on the bus.
I know.
Isn't that the saddest? I
I
saw
know.
that
That is
today.
very sad.
I got on in my car today, and the bus went by, and I gave it a wave.
Aw.
And I was like, oh, I haven't been on that thing in ages.
Yeah.
It was my main mode of transportation for 13 years of my life.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
I will unabashedly say I flipped off my fair share of school buses, like having been like out of college and stuff.
Okay.
A bus will go by and just be like, meh.
That's pretty funny.
It's so unnecessary.
It's funny though.
Best part, back of the bus on field trips when you got to stare at the people that were behind you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good
It
time.
was lit.
That was a good time.
It's awkward being on the other side of that though.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of kids staring and you're like,
I'm not supposed to look at you.
I just stare really scarily back.
I would always play rock paper scissors with them.
Yeah, you're a rock paper scissors guy on the road.
Oh, 100%.
Like we'd be driving down the highway, because like you and I would like once we got our licenses, we would just like have to go the same way, and like in the line of people, we would just all stick out our hands and start doing rock paper scissors. Which didn't work because there was like more than 2 people playing, so like nobody would win.
It's really fun though.
Then driving down the highway, if you're like slowly passing someone, you just kind of lock eyes with them and you just come on, rock paper scissors.
Come on, homie.
Come on.
Man, I remember being on the bus and I would go on a different one. I remember like getting on someone else's bus to go to their house or whatever, and like people were just like openly vaping and smoking on the bus with the windows open.
What?
I was like on the bus, they were just blown out the
We
window.
missed it by 1 year.
Genuinely.
Literally,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
It's wild. Like I was talking about
crazy.
that today in class. I was like, they were talking about like, yeah, when like I was in high school, like everybody would be like vaping and then hiding in their Gatorade bottles. I'm like, man,
Ridiculous
our class just
people.
did not do that.
No.
No.
Not at all.
You're lucky it was a wild time.
We're literally 1 year cut off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty wild. Anyway.
pretty well.
Pretty
yeah.
thankful for it.
Yep. So we're getting long in the tooth here, but do you guys want to talk about internet real quick?
Yes,
Yes,
that's all
absolutely.
like
shitty
Let me
shit.
rant about
Let me
NetSet.
rant about NetSet. Fucking
Oh,
NetSet.
God
All right.
damn it.
All right, you two can go off.
And the only reason they stopped being such a dog shit company is because they got bought out by ExploreNet and it ended their goddamn monopoly.
The fucking audacity of them to come to the school to give out their little presentation and give out gifts and shit and have us like all come to their like
I
headquarters in Brandon.
explicitly remember.
Oh my god, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is why we have the fastest rural internet and everything. Bullshit.
And it was cool when you were a kid, but then you grew up and fucking learned something and you were like, wow, this is just propaganda for a company that has like an entire monopoly on this network.
they just extorted the shit out of us.
And the reason you went with it is because there was no other option. What did you want? You want to have satellite internet? You pay $250 a month for fucking nothing.
You pay $250 for nothing. That's still better than paying like $500 in overage.
I was gonna say you go over by 1 fucking megabyte, $6,000 overage fee.
Oh my god, and the speeds were garbage.
And the shitty router you got, I couldn't do more than 1 device at a time. And it's like if you wanted to play anything, like I tried to download a COD pack one time, it was like more than 1 year download.
Fucking Black Ops 2 took 3 days to
Black Ops
download.
I remember downloading the Annihilation pack for Black Ops 1. I'd leave it overnight. And then we'd have overage fees because
When we got into
200
fucking
megabits to
battle,
play with.
when we got into Battlefield 3, it took 3 days to download, and the fucking download corrupted in the last hour, so it took another 3 days.
That is so
And then you try to play online internet or like online multiplayer.
Heaven
and you're just
forbid.
like, and you're just like rubber banding around
Heaven
the
forbid.
entire fucking map.
I remember we were
I'm
playing
lagging.
Overwatch once, and I just spawned on a completely different map when I was in the same lobby as everyone else. And I was like, "What the? Where'd you guys go?" And it's like, "We're in the game," and I would see it off
No,
in
it's
the
in the
distance.
last game. Like,
still fighting for the point.
I didn't even know how that was like physically possible for the game to like process that.
that's fucking funny.
It was, that was the worst time.
I'm glad you guys got that out.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh God. Xplornet's not fantastic, but it's better.
It's still better than NetSet.
Mm-hmm. NetSet was dog shit.
Yeah, so I also had NetSet.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yep.
Randy's much nicer about it, though.
Yeah, Brad and I are very much like, yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, you test your
I'm
internet.
heating up after that.
You test your internet, you have 0.5 megabits per second.
And you're like, hell yeah, that's the best I've had all month.
I'm gaming tonight.
Boys, we're good.
Nothing was worse than like my family being like a large family and everybody needing to be on the internet.
Dude, I remember gaming with you, and you'd be like, okay, I gotta go tell Ben to fuck off.
I remember waiting for my YouTube videos to load for like 20 minutes.
You had to set people's like, hey, you're watching on 360p.
Yeah.
Like
YouTube, you have to. You have to watch on 360.
Yeah. YouTube downloaders so you could like watch them
later.
Yeah.
Dude, I would download so many videos at school and just come home and be like, well, I'm going to catch up now.
I remember feeling like a god when I realized I could access like the router information and everything and start setting like bandwidth limits for people.
Oh yeah, I remember that during ARC time.
That was another thing where we'd be gaming and then all of a sudden I'd hear your brother come in and be like, Noah, did you limit my Wi-Fi again?
Noah, are you fucking throttling me?
You would every time you'd be like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I haven't touched it.
You can look.
You can look.
You're literally throttling your brother's internet.
You're gaslighting the fuck out of your brothers.
It was a lawless wasteland.
and then they leave and you're like, are you doing that? You're like,
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way I'd be able to play here.
Sacrifices have to be made.
It was like 4 times. I remember it was like 4 different times during COVID. We were playing. It was like you just walked in and you're like,
remember?
That was before COVID.
Remember?
Was it?
100 long before.
Damn.
You remember chasing the elusive 4-bar in COD?
Oh god.
And it would never happen. If you got 3, you were like, okay, I'm good. It's good enough.
This is as good as it's gonna get. I'd go down to 2 and 1 and just be like, okay,
no,
have fun.
Yeah, I'm done.
I guess we lost this round.
I'm bringing down the skill-based matchmaking here, boys.
Then the 4-bar would never happen.
No.
Yeah, I think you guys covered it pretty well, but like overage charges were huge. I remember the first month. Basically, it was like almost like we went from the Bronze Age to the Silver Age.
No, it was like going from the discovery of fire.
Yeah, like when you got internet for the first time,
landing.
you were just like, it didn't matter what speed it was. You were just like, I can do this at home now.
Yeah.
It was huge. And I remember getting internet. I think I was like probably 14-ish.
Yeah,
like around that time.
Right, yeah.
So it wasn't even like, I remember the amount of times like school would be like, oh yeah, just look it up at home. I'm like, I can't look it up at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a weird thing where it was like, it extends beyond internet, and it was like, print off these photos at home. It's like, I don't have a printer. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Wild.
And then the introduction of getting actually good internet, and it was just
getting
like,
unlimited.
It was just the floodgates are open now.
I can download a game
granted.
in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh my god,
I talked about this on one of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
And I talked about this with you. I think it was you. But after we got unlimited internet, it didn't sink in for a few months, and I would still be really cautious, and I would still be really careful with my data, and it would be like, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I can watch videos on 1080p and
wild.
I can download as much games as I can play as much games as I want. That was the thing.
Quick little rant about the overages, especially with NetSet. There was a guy who like checked his own internet. Like this was a guy who was tech savvy enough that he was able to like monitor his own like usage and everything.
Yeah.
And he actually found out that they were artificially.
Yeah, I believe it.
They were artificially
so
adding
scummy.
on data that they were using.
Fucking would be NetSet though.
Oh yeah. like the guy purposefully maxed out his plan and then like shut off his internet completely, and they still charged.
And he
him
accrued
overages.
more.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like
That's illegal.
They were very,
just
very scummy.
That's very
scummy, shady, just criminals.
But they were the only option.
I know.
And that was like the
They were
thing
the only
where it was
real
like,
option.
oh shit, we can get internet? No way. And then
Well, and there'd be like a time, like you'd be playing through the day, and then eventually it would just like stop working.
Yeah.
And that's which was the worst. And you're like, oh, there they go again, shutting off the internet. Doesn't work anymore.
9 p.m. comes around, and you're like, all right, boys, I'm done.
Yeah. Literally.
Logging off for the night.
But you couldn't tell them because you didn't have internet.
It was
You sent a Skype message.
Yeah. Kick. Remember Kick?
I do remember Kick.
Yep.
Yeah. And then my family went with RF Now.
Okay. Yeah, that was the follow-up.
Yeah. RF Now was the
ExploreNet
one.
was the follow-up. RF Now is the like that's like fiber nowadays.
Yeah.
They drilled fiber all the way out to our house, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Wild.
Unreal.
I couldn't believe that people were like just like always living like this.
Yeah.
With those kind of internet speeds.
How long did you have that before you moved?
2 years.
Okay, so you got some use out of it.
Yeah, I got some use out
Nice.
of it.
And then Brandon Internet's good.
Oh yeah.
So
Right, internet's great.
It depends on where you live and what plan you have. Darian's internet isn't great.
No?
No.
Is he West Manhattan Communication Group?
Yeah.
Hey.
It depends on
Randy,
what you do.
why is my internet gone?
All right, everybody get off my ass for 5 minutes. All right, I got enough of this at work.
You're marketing. Why would asking
Because
Brandon about
every time I
internet?
go on
Just
social
because he
media,
works there.
yeah, every time I go on social media, everybody's like, "You guys suck," and I'm like, "I know." We're trying our best.
Go
Anyway,
with Bell then.
enough about
Stop
that.
complaining.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, we covered internet pretty well there. I'm not gonna lie. My dad has like Starlink now, or like my parents
Really?
have Starlink out at the farm. Works
Yeah.
great.
Heyo.
It's worked the entire time. Yeah. So
we got approved for Starlink
Crazy you can link the stars
right at
now.
the same time that RFL was saying that they were going to drill out fiber and everything.
Yeah.
So we were stuck in that like,
which one do we do?
yeah, are we gonna go with the Starlink, or are we just gonna hold out for this fiber to come in?
Yeah.
We'd go with fiber, but it's so expensive.
It's quite pricey.
Yeah.
No,
it can be.
because there was a bunch of people out there.
Yeah,
that
that's
were-
my
that were-
that's my
Oh.
point. Not
Yeah.
the case where I live.
Oh
So
yeah,
we're not spending $3,000 to get fiber internet.
No, that's fair.
Dan, what's the recording time at?
112,
Yeah, that's not bad.
and we talked for like 20 minutes. So
Great,
we're not-
fantastic.
we're not
So I
even
still
an
have
hour
time.
yet. Yeah, lots of time.
I want to wrap up with a couple questions for you guys. In
wanna
terms
rap.
of like, yeah,
Peter Pitt.
It's rapping.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
He had no idea what I was doing. He just was like, "I'm just gonna go along with it."
Open my
all right.
mouth a little bit. and be
What?
like, okay. Obviously, we all grew up with it. We all had different qualms with it, but also like things we love about it. Would you change, like, if you were like, let's roll it back. Hey, mom and dad, thank you for birthing me. I would like to live in town or in the city. Would you change to that? Dan, I'm assuming yours is a no.
Hard no.
Hard no.
I
For the reasons you outlined, of course. But.
I don't have any desire to move. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's ever gonna happen.
That's fair. Yeah. And like,
I would. I don't. I can't do. I don't think I could do city. I think I could, but like I think I'd hate it. I'm not antisocial, but like I don't like people being around me, and it's not their
it's
fault.
such close proximity too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like noise. I hate noise.
Yeah.
I like the freedom. I like, and this is like a lot of my friends live in cities, so this is like a juxtaposition to them. When I sleep, I black out curtains, total, can't see a damn thing, and then I like pure silence. And then Scoots, remember Scoots?
Yep.
He's always like, "How do you don't sleep with a fan?" And I'm like, "I hate a fan noise.
I used to be that way too.
I hate a heater noise."
I'm still like that, and it sometimes causes issues living in town now because
because of the noise.
yeah,
cars going by, especially
Just
if you
constant noise.
especially if you live near a main road, which I'm not sure if you do.
2nd Street.
It's
Oh.
pretty yeah.
So it's just always going by, and you live up on like 2nd or 3rd floor, right?
2nd floor.
Does that like change dramatically?
In
you
terms
say?
of the noise?
Yeah.
Not really. The only thing is my neighbor. He's below me and he's quite annoyingly loud.
It gives you another layer of a neighbor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, I wouldn't change.
Vertical neighbors.
I wouldn't change living out in the country for for anything.
Honestly, and like with the reasons that you gave, I completely understand.
Yeah.
In terms of like, that piece, I guess, you know, and we'll wrap back around to this in a second. But Brad, would you change? Like, if you were given the option?
I mean, if I was given the option, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been a bad choice for me either way.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it's a totally different thing, especially if you want to do like depends on what you want to do for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For sure. I mean, like, I think I would have turned out fine either way. But I mean, I like who I am now, so I wouldn't want to change.
I was gonna
my
say, I
past,
feel
right?
like we would not be the same people
Oh,
that
yeah,
we are
absolutely.
now.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
100%.
me and Mike were talking because I could have been growing up even more rural. Like, my family, like my mom's side, they own like a big farm out there, and like my mom was given the option to move out there
Okay.
with the family and like raise her kids out in the middle of like nowhere. And she was like, "No, I'm gonna do this on my own," kind of thing. You know, because she's a queen. Anyways,
Shout out to
She's a
you.
boss.
she's a boss ass bitch. And then so we didn't do that, but me and Mike were talking. It's like if we just lived in any different area. Like if I went to school in Rivers or I went to school anywhere else, it'd be a completely different person.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's like
completely different life.
Yeah, and it's like I like the way I'm now, so why would I want to change that?
Great. I like that. Noah?
Yeah, kind of following that. Like, it would be a completely different life, even like on the edge of town. I think if I like completely different life, completely different area, if I had the choice between living in town or
out of town, it's gotta be Cowtown, Wheat City, Cowtown.
Yeah, I just live in Cowtown.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining in. That was awesome.
I don't think I would live so far out of town that's
completely isolated,
that
like on your own
completely
island.
Isolated.
Yeah.
I would like to live near town.
Yeah.
But still far enough that I would still be able to enjoy the isolated activities like shooting guns, driving ATVs. Like I want to have that freedom, but also not be so far that going grocery shopping is something that is going to take a significant
it's
portion.
a side quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So where you used to live?
Yeah. I would say closer to Brandon.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you and I are like essentially identical.
Yeah.
West to
Yeah.
east.
Yeah.
So.
Just different sides of the
I would
highway.
say close enough
Yeah, exactly.
that the roads are paved.
So would being closer to the highway, and I won't name the highway, going north south, would just being closer that way, so being more west, would that sway your opinion? Do you think?
I would say.
Or would you want
south.
to? Or would you? I was gonna say you'd want to be farther south.
Farther south.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what's a funny thing we have to do as rural livers?
What's that?
If anyone ever wants to come to your house, you have to drop a Google pin.
Yeah.
Oh, see, we didn't have that
give
before.
People fucking coordinates.
Like,
for the people
to show
that
up your
don't have
house.
the place memorized, because I
Yeah.
know we're all not you,
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
but
not.
like I could go to your houses right now.
Well,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
and that was the fun
But
thing.
you're right,
Was,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
trying to give people directions because like we
Yeah.
didn't
So
have Google.
fun.
writing out long paragraphs.
It was that, but it
Not
was also
landmarks.
like we used to have
Yeah.
because like we
Landmarks.
used to have a big red barn. We'd just be like, keep driving down this road till you see a big red barn,
Mm-hmm.
and if you hit the valley, then you've gone too far.
Well, even one of my grandparents is like, this house has a satellite, a big one on the outside. of it. So we're like, it's my turn at the satellite house.
We
it's
have
like pitch black. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I
You're
can't
gonna
see it.
you're gonna see a double culvert insert
Yeah,
left there.
It's got 7/8 screws. If you get the one with 1 inch, you've gone too
You
far.
got too far.
Do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember. Do you know the wheel at the end of my lane?
Oh,
Like a big old
yeah.
wagon
Yeah.
wheel?
It's like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wagon wheel. It's like you go to the house and it's got really long. It's black and white. It's got the wagon wheel. You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
And then I give directions to Georgia, and she still misses the house. And
Yeah, everybody has landmarks
Yeah.
that you could
Yeah.
find. The nice thing about rural living is the rural area in Canada is a grid.
yes, it
Yeah.
is. It's
Just
literally-
a grid.
and they're
really
all
nice.
mile markers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except
Which is-
every once in a while you run across a mile road that doesn't have a turn.
That's
right or
true.
left,
That's
which-
true. It's got like a machinery road or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, dude.
Machinery
Those
roads
are
are
always like the high risk, high reward. It's like you could shave off a couple minutes of your drive home.
But
you
that
could
place
get
is
stuck.
not maintained.
No.
That doesn't sound very high reward. That sounds like mostly risk.
Yeah, but like you shave off those minutes, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
that is the nice thing.
We
Like
were
everything
talking
everything
hours.
is just a grid.
Yeah.
One time I literally just drove, like I turned like left towards where, I guess your house, where we turn off to get to, anyways. I just followed the railroad tracks essentially and just kept driving.
Yeah.
One time, and it was a crazy time. If you've ever like just kept driving down a gravel road,
You
it
can go
just gets
so far.
wild.
It's pretty wild.
Just keeps going.
Like
man.
genuinely, if I explore a little bit around my parents' place, I'm just like, I didn't know this was here.
No, it's nuts how it's like right there. You're like, wow, I never seen that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just abandoned buildings places.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like a little like fantasy map out there.
It's kind of nice.
World.
Turns out the world
Fog
is
of
pretty
war.
cool.
Yeah, when you're just like,
The
no.
fog of war.
There's a modification you can make to Google Maps that adds fog of war.
Is there?
Yeah, and then like when you go places, your map expands.
Oh, that's dope.
It's
I
really,
love that.
really
That's dope.
fucking inconvenient. 'Cause
Oh,
you're like,
definitely.
You're like, you want to look up something that's like, it's just fog. And you're like,
haven't
well,
hit-
this sucks.
You haven't
Go
hit this fast travel mark yet.
How do I get here? And Google just says, figure it out.
It's fun. When you get
got
there,
a
you can
map.
unlock fast travel.
Yeah.
It's fun as a concept.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To answer the question, I
You've done a lot of city living.
have.
You were on East Coast and then Winnipeg and then
Yeah, Winnipeg was like the fact that I went from
was city.
the two extremes from like rural all my life to
big city.
to big city.
Little guy in the big city.
Little guy, little Rand, big city, right? I think that was a fantastic experience.
Sure.
I love living in cities. I love the amenities and the convenience. I think that is just something that like I crave and kind of need. Because
those amenities.
Once you get that, going back kind of sucks.
Everything feels so far.
And I'm not taking away from what you're saying because I love that as well.
Why would it?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I love the quiet, and I love like if I go out to my parents' place and like I look up and I just see the night sky full of stars. That's still just one of my like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, I get back from like volleyball or whatever, like late night, and I'll always do that. I always look up. I'm like, hell, yeah, look at all that,
and it's
shit.
You're always looking up when you're out in the country. You're like, ooh,
yeah.
Wasn't a hawk?
Shit, is that a hawk? You know what I mean? Like,
you hawks are so cool to see.
Yeah.
That's like like everyone stop what you're doing. Come to the window. There's a hawk out there.
Yeah.
Dude, we had an elk run through our yard.
So we had a moose earlier last summer.
And that just stops the entire day. It's like everybody look at this.
Yeah,
this right here.
Yeah,
look at this.
You're not gonna get
everything
that.
stops. Yeah,
this specimen.
This absolute mad
or
lad.
like a fucking skunk would show up and be like, "Get the gun,
dude." I remember.
Don't shoot it. Just chase it away.
I remember one kid in my class got sprayed by a skunk in his sunroom on the way out to the bus.
No.
Idiot.
And then he came to school and for the next week he just smelled like skunk.
Oh Christ!
Everyone was just avoiding him, like, and it just felt so bad for him. It's
not
his fault.
You know the tomato bat thing is not true.
Yeah,
don't do that. Oh, it doesn't do anything. They make chemicals for that.
Yeah.
And they don't make them out of fucking tomatoes.
It was pretty funny.
Last question for you.
He was on my bus too. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It was you. It was you.
It was me. I'm just saying it in third.
Yeah,
it was some guy.
Some idiot.
Some
got
little
sprayed by
boy.
a skunk.
I don't know who it was.
Thought it was a cat.
Tried to pet it.
Hey, little guy.
It's in my eyes. Oh my god.
Last question for you guys.
You're a weird cat.
Kind of the inverse of that question. Do you want in your future to end up in a rural lifestyle? Because because it might be unfeasible for a lot of people. Because guess what? It's really expensive to buy shit out in the country.
Yeah,
like it's the land that costs you everything.
Yeah, exactly, right? But do you see that as like the ultimate goal to get out of or to live that quiet lifestyle that everybody seems to be like to romanticize? You know, like the pastoral life.
I was just gonna make a counterpoint in that there's a lot of like modern houses that cost triple what a 10-acre acreage would cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't want to like immediately jump into the topic, but like, I absolutely. I think at some point in my life, I probably will wind up living in a city for a while, just by nature of being a creative.
Yep.
But because I don't have very many opportunities here. But living out in an isolated position is like ideal.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't want to be like it's what I'm used to, but it is. And having experienced the opposite of such a thing, I just don't like it.
I also like jumping off your point about being like a creative. I think it's very conducive to the creative.
Yes,
mindset.
it is.
Yeah.
The ability to be out on your own and like just being around nature, like Brad was talking, is so inspiring.
Yep.
No matter what creative endeavor you're doing, it just gives you methods of thinking that you would have never stumbled upon otherwise.
Yeah.
And there are things like that in a city, absolutely.
I was going to bring that up, yeah.
But it's a completely different hand.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, I think my ideal spot would be the isolation of the country and the ruralness, along with the fact that I could bike to a grocery store would be my ideal spot. But I don't think that fucking exists.
You want that middle ground.
I want the convenience and the thing, but I mean, I could also see myself living in a big city. I think I'd probably do it. I mean, I think everyone does at some point live in the city for a while. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, you just have to get that experience.
I think you come back to rural when you get older, for sure. So if I end up doing it, that'll probably be when. And I mean, I don't know, probably a little city, a little small town, like something like that.
Yeah.
If I ended up moving back, but I don't know. See where the world takes me, man.
Garbutt?
Oh, 100%.
Back to the country.
100%.
Yeah.
In my ideal situation, like I have a job that I'm capable of doing wherever I want, like a remote job or whatever.
I would love
so I don't have to go into the big city to go do a 9-to-5 office job. Like I can just go on my computer or whatever. And once you have just that freedom from, I guess like corporation, then absolutely, 100%, I would live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
I think
With the advent of Starlink, you can.
Yeah,
I just have good internet.
like like if I have those amenities of like good internet, like even
water.
Yeah, no. Honestly,
Water wasn't a thing. I couldn't drink my tap water until.
Did you get water deliveries?
We used to have to haul our own water.
No, we hauled our water.
Yeah, you guys hauled your water. Yeah, we had a well, but it was
had a
just
well
like
too,
very, very harsh water. Like our old shower was like calcium and
same with us.
all over the place.
You couldn't use it for our garden because the calcium would kill the plants.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so like ideal
Really
bad
soil
for
white.
hair, probably.
Ideal situation, like I have that job that I can do from home. I have good internet. I have water. I have electricity. I have plumbing is another thing.
That's a big one.
We had a septic field that all our plumbing went out to.
Oh, we still do that.
Yeah.
We had a
septic pond.
We still have as well.
Yeah, we had a septic tank, and we also had. Oh man, when that thing backed up,
horrible.
It smelled
Horrible.
so bad.
Yuck.
We also had a burning barrel.
The burn barrel.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a burn barrel.
Everybody has a burn barrel.
So
And it's
just
full
like,
of bullet holes.
well, we
It
have.
is.
Yeah.
It is full of bullet holes. Yeah.
You know what? That is as real as the pork chop.
That might be realer.
Yeah. But yeah, we would just burn. Like it's like, oh, do we have garbage?
Take the garbage out, put it in the
Put it in
burn
the burning
barrel.
barrel.
And I don't know if you guys
Exactly.
did, but we would save dryer lint.
Oh, because it's good fire
'Cause
starter.
it's very good. So you
Ooh.
just have a little piece and you put it in.
Dude, I still collect dryer lint. And
In a bag, in a plastic.
I have a little Tide Pod container
Oh, that's
been
smart.
empty, and we just
No,
shove
it's
it
just
all in
waiting
there.
for that like
Just for
one moment to
one
be like,
day.
I need to light this place up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Get that fire insurance.
Do you have a fire pit?
Whoa.
Do you have a fire pit at your place?
Not allowed.
Oh,
Too much tree coverage.
Too much Trico.
Yeah.
But yeah,
where
no.
you wouldn't have that problem.
Ideal situation. I got all those like first world amenities.
Yep.
But
But with the comforts of the rural lifestyle.
yeah, I'm living out in the rural lifestyle.
That's cool. Two things super quick. When I went out to Alberta last summer, there were some campers that just had Starlink.
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
people just chilled out there in a provincial park and
it's
just
a different
It's.
plan.
I was gonna say it's not the same. You can't just get Starlink and like because if you have regular Starlink, it ties you to a geographical location.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
You pay a little bit more and you get mobile Starlink.
Well, there's there's a streamer that lives in his van and like streams.
That's so
fully.
cool.
Oh, like that's what he does. He streams and he makes YouTube videos. For
That's
other
rad.
That's a hell of a life.
It
Yeah.
has, I believe that also has like very similar like data plans to like early
There-
NetSet.
Yeah. Oh,
where you can occur overage if you don't have.
I
Like,
don't
the
think so.
unlimited
I don't think so.
plan.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they have different levels.
I just know it's still
Yeah.
good speeds.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's still
Absolutely.
great speeds.
That's
yeah.
cool.
for being in a fucking van.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, literally in a van. Like, there's a YouTube video is just on like a cliff, like just playing games.
I'm
That's
pooping.
wild.
I'm
I'm
pooping
like,
in a
alright.
pail and I got 150 megabit down. I'm good to go.
This is no
literally.
life.
Bro's literally.
This sucks.
I think I might end up in a city. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
That doesn't surprise me the slightest.
What level of city are we talking?
North End Winnipeg,
I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa.
Like probably a big city.
Really?
I
like Calgary, Toronto.
maybe.
Yep.
You know?
San Fran apparently.
Yeah. Get Ran to San Fran.
You ready to San Fran?
Guess what? Dan, you're coming with me.
He's
Yo!
gonna go to
Get
San Fran.
Ran and
never
Dan to
come.
San Fran.
Oh!
He's gonna go there, never come back. That'll be the last we see him.
He's gonna go to. He's gonna get us to fund his escape.
and then just fuck
Set up a
off.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe to leave the podcast. And dip.
You seem like a of cities, you seem like a Seattle/San Francisco kind of
Yeah,
guy. Like a very modern, progressive city.
I don't know. Yeah, that just seems like the life to me. Like I don't know. I had my fill of the rural lifestyle, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm very thankful for getting raised in that situation. But I'm done. Like I did my time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It wasn't on a prison
There'd be
sentence.
so-
No, no. Listen,
If I had a good crew to go to a big city, like some good friends, I think I would go to a huge city sometimes. You'd have to see so much cool stuff out there.
that's my thing,
Yeah.
and that just goes back to my discoveries per whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I need that because like that drives me, and like at some point in people's lives, I'm assuming they hit that point where it's like, I don't need that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Oh.
just like relax and like have that schedule, have
Yeah.
that routine, have that nice quiet.
I would absolutely love to live in like small town coastal.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know what's interesting about that? That was actually one of my goals when I was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Specifically, I had a goal. I wanted to wind up in Lunenburg.
Lunenburg.
which is a place in Nova Scotia, I think.
Lunenburg sounds like a place for like a murder mystery.
Sort of, yeah.
Out in Lunenburg.
And it's a small coastal town. All the buildings are like the classic, like they're painted with
Yes.
vibrant colors.
Yes.
Port town, and it's like a small population of like 2,000 people.
That's what I
You can
want.
go to the dock in the
That's
morning,
what
buy
I want.
lobsters and stuff.
Yeah. You go to
Check
the dock.
the crab pot.
You go to the dock, and the merchants are the lobsters,
Yeah,
and you're like,
literally,
"What's up?" And they're like,
That's what I want.
I figured you would like it. For the
I want
audi-
lobster
For the
merchants.
audience at
That's
home,
so
for the audience
dumb.
at home, I like clap my fingers together like
He's
a,
like,
like
I'm the
pinchers.
lobster.
Hey,
Money.
buy my. I don't know, what is he selling? He's not selling lobsters.
His own humans.
Maybe he's selling lobsters. Buy my humans.
I got him in my human traps.
I'm like, what the
Not so fucking funny now, is it?
It's just
And I'm like,
TikTok on repeat
That's
of-
pretty funny. money.
Just boiling humans alive. How do you like that?
That's literally a Family Guy.
It's okay.
skit.
They can't feel pain.
No, they don't feel pain. That's just air escaping.
Just him like screaming violently.
Sorry.
I have another point I wanted to make, like another topic.
Can I jump
up?
off
Yeah,
that
that's what I
real
wanted you to finish.
I don't disagree with you. I definitely don't want to end up in a small town. That is genuinely like my big
Me
thing
neither.
where I just like I can't do that again.
They can be
Damn,
serious.
Rivers gave him some scars.
No, it's not even that. Rivers was a nice place. It's just not something that I'm like as I grow older. I'm like,
not
yeah,
big
I
enough.
want that. It's like
not
no,
stimulating.
Rivers
Yeah.
actually had a decent amount of stuff. They got a skate park there.
yeah,
They also
and it's
wild.
fun for 2 days,
They
bro.
also
Yeah,
just put
I
in
know.
that like $2
I've been there
billion
a few times. It's
ice rink or whatever.
It's kind of
Yeah, we
fun.
do have that. But I miss the old nostalgic fucking curling rink in the
The
Oh.
one that's made out of an old barn.
yeah,
Literally
man.
is
Oh,
just a barn.
the best.
Forest.
Yeah.
So answer to my question. Answer to my question.
That's your answer to the question.
It is. Yeah, I want to end up in a city. I really do.
That's
I-
fair.
I want-
tracks.
Yeah, especially with a city where I'm like, man, a new restaurant just popped up. I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah.
You know, like that's my weekend plan.
How did Michael explain it? He was like, everything, like even in the big city, it's kind of like living in a small city because you only become familiar with your
The area,
surrounding
yeah.
area,
Yep.
and that becomes your small town.
And going
or
over
whatever.
to like the east side is like an experience.
Yeah,
you know? Like
for
it's
sure.
a travel. Like I don't know, it's a travel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it'd be just awesome to be able to like to the point where there's so many people. Like Brandon's at the size where you walk through the grocery store and you've probably seen most people's faces in that grocery store.
Or
whether
you will
know it-
recognize one
Yeah.
person and be like,
you
oh,
you
it's
have
that
a
person.
significant chance of recognizing someone.
Yeah, and if you like go to a big city, it's like you could just be about and just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And
You're
look like
almost
a goof,
anonymous, and I
no
kinda
one
like
would know.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're so irrelevant in the large scheme of people that
Yeah.
it's almost nice.
And I like that.
I don't feel any less anonymous shopping around in Brandon than I do in Winnipeg, though.
That's fair. I do.
I see way too many. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I walk through Winnipeg. I feel like I could say anything. I'd be like,
I used to
don't care.
sing in Winnipeg.
Hell yeah.
It was.
Well, you were.
I don't know why.
Fuck it.
I genuinely didn't understand how unsafe Winnipeg could be. So I was just walking around with my earbuds in and I was just singing.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
It was weird. I don't know what was wrong with me.
No, but like
There's nothing wrong.
That-
There's nothing
genuinely-
wrong with that, right?
Genuinely, I think that was just because I grew up rural and that's what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
but at the same point, like if I go shopping and I see somebody doing that, it's just like, okay,
Cool.
Yeah.
go for it.
Couldn't give less of a fuck. Like, do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dan, what was your topic you wanted to jump off of?
I wanted to ask about province preference because, like,
Not central.
because
Not
like
central.
rural's great, but like I want to wind up in a different province.
Okay.
And I have a province preference.
Go ahead.
BC.
Same.
Oh,
I wa-
yeah.
I want to. I'd love to live in BC. I'm not fucking Bill Gates though, so I can't afford it.
That is
Yeah.
the
That's
yeah,
fair.
that is,
Like,
that is
I-
the only reason I will not pick BC.
Ideally,
But the mountains and everything, gorgeous.
I
I
think-
think I would just do it.
I
might
think
end up
if
in BC.
obviously opportunity allowed, I
Yeah.
would live in BC. But like, I think BC is a wonderful place to visit instead of live.
I have
know?
some friends that moved out to Kamloops and they seem like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah. Be
Yeah,
awesome.
see,
of course, you don't.
I'm-
you don't know that though.
No,
See, I always
No.
think East Coast.
I guess not.
That
Yeah.
I won't wind up on either of the coasts.
Yep.
Really. Like,
I don't
that
want to
would
be in the coast. Coasts scare me.
really.
Hurricanes, tsunamis, shit,
I kind of like it,
and other things.
even though I'm saying that definitely from a point of like
Never
living
being in a
hyper
hurricane.
No,
landlocked.
exactly. if I
Super
sat through a
landlocked.
hurricane, I'd probably be like, "This is the worst thing." You
Yeah.
know?
I don't
Yeah.
want to be near. I don't want to be near all that stuff.
Totally.
And like, if the world starts flooding, I don't want to be the one near the edge of it.
Yeah, that's a great point. The
Yeah.
world is probably flooding soon.
Eventually, it might do that.
See,
So-
I've decided on just based on my life experiences.
Yeah.
South Island, New Zealand is where I would love to live.
Love that.
like
that is the rural experience that's not landlocked.
The thing is that it's rural, but it's also so small.
Yeah.
The entire place, you can drive from one side of the island to the other in like 2 hours.
That's cool.
Fucking nuts.
I like that.
And you get the full experience. You get, like, they have big cities and everything.
Yep.
And then like 30 minutes later, you will not see a single house in sight.
That's kind of awesome. It's like a condensed rural
Yes,
Canada.
exactly.
I like that.
That is what I want. That is the perfect middle ground for
I've
me.
heard horror stories horror stories where like people come from foreign countries to like come explore Canada, and they'll be like, we'll drive from here and check out this and check out this, and they're like, wait,
Good
it's
luck.
12 hours to
Good
get
luck.
from here to here.
Yes, it is. We need
like,
high-speed travel here somehow.
It's nuts.
I would love that.
Give me get
So
us
BC
bullet trains, man.
for you. Nice.
I nodded for the audience at home.
BC also for sure. I feel like I'm a BC guy.
Or
Yeah.
I like maritime provinces. That would be cool
Maritime.
too.
Yeah,
Maritime, Nova Scotia,
It'd be
New Brunswick.
so cool. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I gotta imagine possibly for me, like
Nunavut for
I'm
sure.
staying out of Quebec.
BC, I would love to.
Vive la resistance.
Northwest.
I want
Territories.
I want to visit.
What the fuck, racism?
I really want to visit Quebec. I know you're shitting on it right now, but like I really want to go visit Quebec.
They
'cause
have
I-
some really good
Visit
old
for sure.
architecture.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Visit
gonna.
for sure.
I
I
thought
need
you
to
were gonna
eat
say
their
a food item.
bro. I need to eat
They
their
also
food.
have really good food.
I thought you were just gonna be like, they have really good bagels. I was gonna be like, I guess.
Cassie got to go there, and she showed like photos of the old buildings out
Yeah.
there, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I would love that.
And the food would be unreal.
And then like I would love to explore more of the Maritimes because like my time in Cape Breton alone for like just a weekend was absurd. It was
and
so
you know-
good.
Also, it just sounds sick to say that you live in Cape Breton.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a guy who in my class that used to live in Cape Breton, I think.
No shit.
Or he lived in where's Cape Breton?
Cape Breton's on an island of Nova Scotia.
Okay, maybe it was.
It's basically a national park.
I think it was Cape Breton. It was either Cape Breton or PEI. I
People
can't
do
remember.
live there.
See, that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
Yeah.
He said it sucked.
Just a bragging rights of being like, yeah, I live on Cape Breton.
He used to
it's-
tell me
it's
he
an
got
island.
He said he got jumped once, so maybe it wasn't the best.
By fish, by the lobsters.
The lobsters
Yeah.
came out
Yeah.
and started beating
the
the
seafood.
fuck out of him.
Damn. Guys, we have to wrap this up because it's 7:15 and Brad has to be at practice in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. I do have to do that.
So we're going to do a really condensed outro here. Obviously, thank you so much for talking about rural experiences.
That was great.
That was a great conversation.
I've been looking forward to this for like 7 months.
Genuinely, I feel like I could talk for another hour.
We're just going so fast. We're just
Yeah.
going. We're just going.
Wow, we gotta go. Thank you, Daniel Mosionier, for creating dope music and editing our podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Creation Nation Makerspace. Guess what? They're making and spacing, and they're downtown, and they're really cool, and I appreciate them a lot.
We got some new 3D printers.
Well, they sure do. Guess what? They are always
Getting a welding shop.
bustling in
Really?
here.
Oh, I'll show you after.
Oh, that's
Pretty cool.
Yeah. They're putting up new rooms over there.
Wild.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And obviously, thank you, listeners. We're
Woo.
back. We're back on track, and it's going wonderful.
Thank you for the support on the fun little video comeback video we did. By the way.
Silly
That was like
goofy
that was like 600,000 views now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, the first video had
7 billion views.
Dude, the mic bit at the end, I just
really good.
Darian
And I wonder if people actually stuck around for that.
Darian was talking it up. I was like, "Did you watch this?" And he was like, "Yes, I loved it. I liked the mic thing at the end." He was like, "I was
haven't heard
dying at
anything
that."
about the mic bit.
Dude, I think Darian might be like tied for like our biggest fan because like I know he doesn't.
We have a lot of contenders.
Like Cassie's like obviously like she's like gunning for number 1,
Yeah.
and I think she might be. But like Darian does every episode all the way through. He's listening right now.
Yeah.
What's up?
Gatorade.
I'm not playing Conquest until Warrior meta changes. Not
enough.
kidding.
Fair enough.
He knows what that means.
Yep. We're going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody,
love that.
thank you so much for listening. We will be back in the next 2 weeks.
We are ahead of the game.
We are ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It's going great.
We are.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You should respond to Darian's texts only in the podcast.
Oh, that would suck.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2
have a
weeks
new
you have to respond to like 7.
Yeah, you're like, okay, here's your like wrap up. Here we go. No, yes, no, maybe. I don't have that kind of money. No, yes. I'm playing
He
mid.
asked you to go for supper like a week ago.
Yes, you're still alive, Darian.
No, you should not buy a 4060. You should wait for the next series of graphics cards.